Hi there. I was reading through Ecclesiastes today, which is interesting and cynical and lots of other things besides. Um, but there's some good parts in there. There's some in there that I don't think is really, to be frank, it doesn't really tie in very well with the rest of the Bible and what the rest of the Bible says. It's I'm not really sure what was going on with Solomon whenever he wrote those. I think it must have been whenever he was a little bit older and a little bit jaded and cynical about life, because it's interesting. Anyway, but there's a couple that just really stood out, and this one in particular just really hit me because he's saying all is vanity, all is vanity. You can have whatever you like. You can be like he was, the richest man on earth. Anything he turned his heart to, anything he desired, he had. And he loved and had pleasure and just completely indulged in everything, and yet it did not bring him satisfaction. It did not bring him happiness or peace or anything else. And at the very end of Ecclesiastes, he says, fear God and follow his commandments. Which I think is fitting to the end of it all. But anyway, the verse today is Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 7. All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet his soul is not satisfied. I find that so interesting. So all the labor of a man is for his mouth. So it's like your fleshly lusts and desires and carnality and everything else, You work and you enjoy stuff. I mean, maybe it's harmless and maybe it's not kind of lustful or whatever, or fleshly as such. Maybe it's just you're enjoying a beautiful view or the waves or whatever it is. And yet, it says the soul is not satisfied. So I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about you can have, and I have known people with a lot of money and a lot of wealth, and they're like hollow. They have all this stuff, and they're constantly looking for things to chase after. They have no peace. They have no meaning, no significance, no satisfaction in their soul, exactly as Solomon says. They have all this stuff, but it's meaningless. They know, I don't know if they know, but they must know that they can't take it with them. So what's the purpose? What's the plan? Why? It's like you need to find something deeper and more meaningful. The soul needs to be satisfied. I would suggest that the only way to satisfy your soul is through knowing Jesus. He will give you peace to the very foundations of your soul. He will give you joy. And happiness. I don't know about happiness. I suppose so, to a certain extent. I suppose joy is a form of happiness, isn't it? Maybe it's a more pure form. I don't know. Anyway, that was my thoughts for today. Thanks for your time. See ya.